Welcome back to Benny's Take. I'm your girl Benny, and today I'm so excited to be sharing with you 3 things you need to know before starting a business, before becoming an entrepreneur, before stepping out on your own. If you're excited for this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and subscribe, because your girl, I'll be honest, I'll be sharing with you, I'll be taking you along the journey, the good, the bad, the ugly, the non-glamorous. So definitely subscribe so that you can see all of the things that is Benny saying. The first thing you need to know is that inspiration alone, motivation alone is not gonna cut it. Literally, you need discipline. I own a cleaning business. Obviously, to start that, it had to be me. Right now, currently, I have somebody that works with me part-time, but at least 95% of the workload actually falls on me. So discipline is saying that even when I don't feel like it, that I'm not just like canceling on my client, that I'm still showing up. You know what I'm saying? Discipline says that instead of me just being on Instagram, just like scrolling away, relaxing, chillaxing, that I'm actually sitting, reaching out to clients to try to grow my business. Discipline says I wake up in the morning, I text my clients, email them, whatever I have to do to make sure that things are aligning. Discipline says that I'm keeping track of the finances, like what's coming in, how much I'm spending, knowing, do I need to work more? Do I need to like chill back and work less? Like all of those different things. Discipline says you can't just come and about. Like I can't just go on vacation when I want to. I have to plan all these things, make sure that in my absence, like who's going to be taking care of what, who's going to be doing this, who's going to be doing that. All of that takes discipline. Last time I had like a cold, I literally was not feeling my best, but I had to figure it out, because it's like, this is it, this is you. Nobody's telling you what to do. Nobody's coming to wake you up. If you're trying to start out, you're going to have to develop a certain level of discipline that says, I'm going to show up even when it doesn't feel like it. I've literally had to get out of my house and go door to door and like hand out business cards. Literally, that takes discipline. You could read as many books as possible about having the business. You can watch as many people, have their content, do all of the things. You can do as much as you want as far as that. But if you don't actually have the discipline to get up and do for yourself. And the second thing you need to know about starting a business, about, being on your grind, about creating content, working on your health, whatever it is that you're trying to start out, you need to know that it's going to get lonely. Like, that is one of those sad realities. I feel like all I do is clean and reflect. Like, it sounds funny to say, but all I do is clean and reflect, because again, I am by myself most of the time that I'm cleaning. So it's allowed me a lot of time, in my own thoughts. So those days when you're not feeling like it, those days when you're not feeling like your best self, it really is just you, and sometimes it can get lonely. Sometimes you miss like, I miss like, going into an office and like seeing that annoying customer, seeing that annoying, client, or seeing that annoying person or whatever. But just like human interaction, half the time it's just me. Half the time it's like I'm in a place where like sometimes people are not in their homes when I'm cleaning, or sometimes I'm in a building, in an empty building late at night, and it's just you. Sometimes it's going to get lonely, but you have to remember why you started it. You have to remember your goals. You have to remember the benefits of actually having your business, because in those moments when it gets lonely, it's easy to give up, which is why then you need the discipline to know that even though it's getting lonely right now, I know why I'm doing this. I know the reasons why I'm putting myself in this position. I'm trying to have a legacy, I'm trying to build wealth, I'm trying to like grow my mind. Whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, whatever your why is, you're going to have to remember that in those moments that's going to get lonely, because it will. Being productive, like with what I'm actually allowing to flow through my mind, like, podcasts, preachings, and whatever, just so I could keep my mind, saturated with positive things, so that I'm not like losing track of like what I'm trying to do. But at the same time, there are still times that it just gets lonely. There's still times where you're just like, God dang, like I want to work with somebody, I want to do something with somebody. Like those times just happen. Right now I'm filming in an empty room. I'm talking to myself. Again, this is not to discourage you. This is to prepare you so that you can have a plan. Like, if you're gonna be in a place, in a position, sometimes even mentally, sometimes people may not understand the goals that you have. Sometimes people may not understand why you're doing what you're doing, and they may not relate to you. You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna find yourself in certain spaces that it really is just you that has to do everything, you that has to, you know, be the CEO, you that has to actually be the worker, you that has to be the advertising agent, you that has to be the one, you know, packing, shipping, whatever endeavor that you're trying to get into. Know that there's gonna be times it's going to just be you, and you're going to have to be okay with that, and you're going to have systems in place so that you're not drowning, you know, into the work, so that you're not feeling like, you know, like giving up. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to have like support systems. Like, okay, so I work all this time, let me have a day where I go see my friends, where I go be with my family. That way you're replenishing your mind for those times where it really is just you. So it does get lonely, but remember your why, remember what you're doing, why you're doing it, and it should be okay. And the last thing that you need to be aware of before starting a business, starting anything at all, you need to know that sometimes, even if you work hard, sometimes the results may not be desirable. That's just like the reality of things. That's just the reality of life. Like I said, my first paycheck from like my cleaning, when I tell you I worked. I was out here like, you know, I'm just like working hard. At that time I was still a nanny. No, was I a nanny? Yes, I was a nanny. At that time I was still a nanny, so I was out here nannying full time, then trying to clean over here, and at the end of it I was like, what did I do? Like, what was the reason? Like, it doesn't seem like this was worth it at all. You know, there's going to be times where you put in the work, you do all of the things, you've been disciplined, you've kept your mind right, where, you know, you just showed up and still have nothing to show for it. Those moments are going to come, which is why you have to be mindful. You have to be smart with, like, you know, how you spend your money when you do have it, how you spend your time, how you spend like your resources. When things are high, make sure that you're being smart, make sure that you're actually planning ahead, because there's gonna be times where like you do all of the right things and nothing shows up for it. There's been times where I walked around, you know, door to door, I called, I did like, you know, like mail marketing or whatever, send people mails, like, you know, business proposals, calls, emails, whatever it is. I did all of those things, and there were times where like nothing came back, and like there's nothing you can do about it. It's like, it's just part of, you know, the learning experiences. You get better at, like, you know, your craft, you get better, like, you know, planning a little bit more, you get better at just like different things. But sometimes even when you've done all of the things right, sometimes things just don't work out the way you planned for them to work out. So be mindful of that. Don't let it discourage you. Again, when things are high, take advantage of those. When you're getting these clients and you're popping, put a little some on the side, because there's gonna be some of those days where it's like, this one is dry, oh, it's dry, I tell you. So be smart with it, because it ain't always gonna be high. It's not always gonna be high. And the example of my first paycheck is not the only one. There's been times where I've invested and actually lost money. Let's talk about that. You put in money into, like, I'm finna do this, I'm finna do it, we finna take over, and nothing. And not only do you not get anything out of it, but you actually lose what you invested into it. Those moments are gonna happen, but just again, remember why you started, and just keep pushing. Really, essentially keep pushing. All right, I hope these 3 things to look out for helped you. I hope they didn't scare you from starting your business, because like I said, with all of these things, with all of the things that I've learned, with everything that has happened, some of my losses, some of like my lonely times, you know, as far as like my business, as far as like being an entrepreneur, with all of those, you know, days where I still had to be disciplined, with all of those days where I still had to get up even though I didn't want to get up, I still enjoy what I do. Like, I know why I'm doing what I'm doing. I know my why. I know my purpose. I know the goals that I have. I know the plans that God has for me. And so even with all of that, I still push through. But I wanted to make this video just so you know that those times are gonna come. That way it doesn't shock you, because when I became like an entrepreneur, I don't know, I don't know if it's juvenile of me, but I really just thought that like this is it. Like nothing is gonna come in my way. I'm gonna be out here like I had all these plans. We're gonna do this, then that's gonna do this, and it's gonna pop up over here. And they didn't, you know. And they didn't, you know. All right, you guys, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel. If you haven't already, please go ahead and subscribe, turn on the notification bell so that you always know when I upload. And if you haven't already, subscribe, you know, just subscribe. And follow me on IG as well, because I'll be sharing dope content. I'll be sharing like some amazing things, so you don't want to miss it. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye, Z's.